Our second example of an embellished document is called Padlet. For those of you who have kind of followed the company responsible for Padlet for some time, you may also know it originally as Wallwisher. Padlet is a good example of what we mean by an application that is efficient and flexible. It's very easy to learn to use, at least to acquire the basic skills, and it can be used for a wide variety of applications. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate just how an individual Padlet is created. Begin by creating a new Padlet here. And so there you see it within the browser window. I'm going to modify the basic Padlet in a few ways here. I'm going to label or title my Padlet. I'm going to write a little bit about Kona coffee. Happens to be a favorite coffee, and I learned about it in Hawaii here. Okay, and again, many parameters can be adjusted. I think something perhaps like this might make a better background, and there we go. Now, the way I encourage you to think about this, the original idea of as a wall to which resources are attached makes some sense, or think of it as maybe a giant poster board to which you attach different kinds of multimedia objects. The objects can be images, videos, web links, text, comments, and you can arrange these in a very flexible way within this background. Now I want to show you a couple of ways to add resources. One that I like is just basically drag and drop. So what you see here is my browser window, but also a little piece of my computer's desktop, and within this area of the desktop you can see some images. And so all I have to do is drag an image onto the browser window, and it loads that up to Padlet, and there you have an image. You can move this around very easily, and I'm going to basically title it now. So this is a coffee bush. Oops. Red cherries. All right, and I'll quickly add a couple of other images. So here's another comparison between the coffee cherry and coffee beans. Maybe that will go right here. Say the. Now that's kind of true most of the time, except in the case of peaberry coffee, which I happen to like. Kona and Tanzania, you're peaberry associated with those kinds of those locations of coffee. All right, so there's a little information about coffee. Perhaps you learn something here. So if you happen to be in your favorite coffee shop and you see a reference to peaberry coffee, that's what it is. It's a subset of the cherries that have one bean instead of two. Like I said, common types you might find in your coffee shop are Tanzanian peaberry, which is less expensive, and right now Kona peaberry is very expensive. All right, so anyway, those are some images and text comments. And another option here, and I'll show you the way I like to do it, because I think preparation, at least in the first stage of maybe creating a Padlet, makes some sense, is to organize your resources ahead of time. So my pictures are organized. But I also like to find the internet resources, the web resources I want to use, and all I do is put them in a different tab. So what you see here is a different tab open in my browser. It's about Kona coffee, the history of Kona coffee, and this is from Wikipedia, obviously. Go back to my Padlet tab, and this time I'm going to do what most people do to create editions. They just click the screen somewhere and click and add your web link. So it picks out a picture, but basically this is a link now to a Wikipedia article, and I think it's appropriate that I make sure it's well known that that's where I got this information. So here's a Padlet summarizing some information about Kona coffee, and it is a single document, hence an embellished document consisting of multiple multimedia resources summarizing information I've acquired about a single topic. So you see, I hope, how easy it is to create a basic Padlet document.